Good morning, Genesis family. Welcome, Genesis Center for Spiritual Living. Please stand and let's sing our opening song together. I'm choosing heaven today.
I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing joy today. I'm choosing joy today. I am walking the road of joy right now, singing I'm choosing joy today. I choose abundance today. I choose abundance today. I am walking the road of abundance right now, singing I choose abundance today. I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing love today. I am walking the road of love right now, singing I'm choosing love today. I'm choosing heaven today. I'm choosing heaven today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing today. I am walking the road of heaven right now, singing I'm choosing heaven today.
We are delicious. I'm so glad that you chose to spend your Sunday morning here with us. The purpose of Genesis is to be a sanctuary for the soul, grounded in universal truth. And my name is Karen Williams. I'm a spiritual practitioner here, and I will be your host today. We do have an online host as well for those who are watching us remotely, and that is Eric. So if you are joining us online, please join in the chat. Let us know that you're here. Say hi to Eric, and create your own kind of community in the chat. Every Sunday we read our vision and mission statement together. So could we read that today? Our vision. Genesis empowers everyone to express their authentic nature as unconditional love. Our mission. Genesis is an inclusive spiritual community that honors vulnerability, educates, celebrates, serves, and inspires our members, our community, and our world. That's a beautiful thing. We have a few announcements. Okay. There's still time to attend our class, Embodying Our Global Vision. This is on Wednesday night for every Wednesday in the month of July. So even though you might have missed the first one, please come. I missed the first one myself, but that's not hindering me from jumping in. Our global vision is our global vision. It's Reverend James who's facilitating the class. Much of the board will be there. It's delving into diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice and belonging through the lens of science of mind. We have a Zoom link in our newsletter, so if you feel called to and don't worry about, we want our community to be a part of this. We want to be together in this. So if money or cost is an issue or a concern in any way, allow yourself the grace to attend and then discuss that with Reverend James. We want to accommodate the global vision. Genesis will be at the Burien's Farmers Market on Thursday, July 16. We are in the booth from 2 to 6. We'd love a few more volunteers to help with setup in the morning and takedown, or in the afternoon, takedown at the end of the day to cover breaks for those who are staffing the booth. A few hours of help goes a long way. The Burien Farmers Market is more than just a place to shop. It brings neighbors together, supports local farmers and small businesses, and strengthens our community. By having a Genesis booth at the market, we can connect with new people, share who we are, and let others know that they have a welcoming spiritual community where they belong here in Burien. Every conversation helps us extend our vision, our global vision of love, inclusion, and positive change beyond our walls. If you can lend a hand for any part of the day, please let Gideon or Cynthia know, and we thank you for that. Should be fun. And last, our most special event for the month of July is our Labyrinth Walk with Reverend or Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson. We're having a Labyrinth Day, and that's July 19, Saturday, Saturday or Sunday? I just got tripped up right there. On Sunday, of course, when we gather together, and it happens to be the 19th, if you check your calendar, it may not be, I don't know at this point. Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson will speak at 10 a.m., so she'll be facilitating the service or giving the message. And then we have our fellowship afterwards. Then at 1 p.m., we'll stay for a special workshop on labyrinth walking and the opportunity to walk her very special 30-foot labyrinth, modeled after the one at Chartres Cathedral. Additional outdoor labyrinth will be available. Finger labyrinths will also be available. There's outdoor labyrinths, open all day. So if you feel called to move through the journey of your life or your present and or your future, please come try that on the labyrinth. It's really transformational, and we're really blessed to have Dr. Mary Ellen Johnson facilitating that for us. If you want to know more about what it is that we're doing here, we also have this handy-dandy handout for our announcements and our events, because we have things that are ongoing every week. So, or you can check the website at GenesisCSL.org. Great. As I said, I'm so glad to be here with you this morning. If this is your first time, we'd love to connect with you. We know everyone prefers a different method of communication, so you can fill out a connection card and drop it in the offering basket later in the service, or you can scan the QR code. There is one on the little handy-dandy card. This will open up a personal line of communication, because we want to provide you with important information to give you everything you need to know or to learn about Genesis and what we do here. If you have any questions, please stop by the welcome table that is downstairs. Our morning greeter, Christy, would love to chat with you and give you a free gift. Now that we've welcomed our guests, let us welcome and greet one another. If you aren't comfortable with hugging, just stick out your hand and we'll shake it instead. Namaste hands are a great choice for contactless greeting. You may stay seated if you prefer not to mingle. Reverend Rose, who is our vigil practitioner, will also remain seated. She's holding our community in consciousness of love and support. So let's get up and mingle, please. That is marvelous. I don't know if that was 2 minutes or if that was more, because we do what we need to do here, and we love each other. So come and join us in our love fest. I would like to take the time right now to thank everyone that is, oh, thank you. I would like to take this time to thank everyone who is in service today. We have, starting from the very beginning, we have a crew of people who set up everything, the upstairs, the downstairs, the music, all the tech. So I want to give a shout out to Gideon, who's here first thing and kind of oversees and monitors everything. Mike, who makes sure that everything downstairs looking fantastic. Rose is also down there, hospitality, making sure everything is fantastic. Our morning greeter is down there, Christy. Also here first thing in the morning is Eric and Jim, who are on projector and video and sound. Also taking our offering collection is Christy today, so thank her for that. I mentioned Reverend Rose is our vigil practitioner. You've already heard the beloved Becca Palm, who is our musician today. And food for fellowship this morning is provided by one of our care circles, and that is God Informed. So please join us for fellowship after service. We're so grateful for those who show up in service to our community on Sundays. We could not pull this all together without you. If you'd like to join in on our volunteer team, please connect with Gideon after the service or inquire at the welcome table downstairs. All right, we've done all the busy work, all the details. We've been in our head this morning already. We're going to move down to our heart. And this is kind of a transition point where we prepare ourselves for our message. So I will begin that, Becca will begin that with a song, Breathe and Turn Within. And then I'm going to do a spiritual practice with our gong. And so we'll breathe together 3 times. I have a reading and then a prayer, and that will be followed by a special song by Becca Palm, and then our message. So let's do that together. Let's breathe and turn within.
I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I breathe and turn within. I breathe and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. Turn within. I pray and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I pray and turn within. I pray and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I sing and turn within. I sing and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's presence. I sing and turn within. I sing and turn within. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love. I open up my heart and feel God's love.
My reading this morning is from Reverend David Alexander. And he says, there's one life, one presence, one spirit, one source of all that is. And this presence is truth. This presence is love. This presence is justice. This presence is the sacred ground beneath every person. I would love to finish that. Truly. Thank you. This presence is the sacred ground beneath every person, every people, every nation, every generation, and every longing for freedom. Today we turn towards this presence on behalf of our nation. We do not come to flatter America. We do not come to condemn America. We come to tell the truth in the presence of love. We give thanks for every noble promise that has been spoken in this land. Liberty, equality, dignity, democracy, conscience, freedom, and the sacred worth of every human being. We give thanks for every person who has labored to make those promises real. The prophets, organizers, teachers, elders, ancestors, truth tellers, healers, artists, resistors, reformers, and ordinary people whose courage moved this nation closer to its own ideals. And we make room for grief. We remember the lands taken, remember the treaties broken, we remember the bodies enslaved, we remember the labor exploited, we remember the votes suppressed, we remember the families separated, we remember the communities displaced, we remember the stories silenced, we remember the people told to wait for freedom, wait for justice, to wait for recognition, to wait for repair. We remember not to remain in sorrow, but to become honest enough for healing. Spirit of truth, awaken the conscience of this nation. When we have postponed justice, call us to repair. Where we have hidden behind innocence, call us to responsibility. Where we have mistaken comfort for peace, call us to courage. Where we have confused unity with silence, call us to right relationship. Where we have spoken noble words without embodying them, call us into integrity. May America become mature enough to tell the truth about herself. May we become brave enough to face what has been done, wise enough to understand what remains unfinished, and loving enough to choose a different future. May our patriotism grow deeper than performance. May our love of country become strong enough for accountability. May our celebrations include remembrance. May our democracy include everyone. May our spirituality refuse to look away from suffering. May our laws protect the vulnerable. May our economy honor human dignity. May our institutions serve the common good. May our communities become places of belonging, repair, and shared courage. We pray for leaders with moral imagination. We pray for citizens with awakened conscience. We pray for teachers who tell the truth. We pray for communities willing to listen. We pray for healing of old wounds and the transformation of old systems. We pray for those who still carry the cost of promises broken before they were born. We pray for those who are afraid of change. We pray for those whose hearts have grown numb. We pray for those who are weary from the work of justice. We pray for those who are just beginning to see. Infinite Spirit, let this nation be guided by something deeper than fear, greed, domination, or denial. Let us be guided by truth. Let us be guided by love. Let us be guided by justice. Let us be guided by the sacred recognition that no one is free while others are disposable. No one is secure while others are excluded. No nation is whole while it asks the wounded to wait. We affirm that a new possibility, even now, is emerging. A more honest nation is possible. A more compassionate nation is possible. A more just nation is possible. A more spiritually awake nation is possible. Not someday, not after every condition is perfect, not after truth becomes convenient, but now, through us, as us, among us. May the soul of this nation stop looking away. May the conscience of this nation be restored. May the promise of this nation be reborn through truth, humility, courage, and repair. And may we, the people, become willing instruments of that rebirth. We give thanks for the spirit that is greater than our fear. We give thanks for the love that is stronger than our division. We give thanks for the truth that cannot be postponed forever. We give thanks for the courage awakening now. And with open hearts, clear minds, and willing hands, we say yes to the unfinished work of freedom. And so I add my own word of a deep sense of gratitude for this community, for Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, for the continuity of the energy, of the intention, of the love that is Genesis Center for Spiritual Living, and the people who have participated in the evolution of this unique and divine expression of love. I give thanks for Reverend James for guiding us at this point. I give thanks for this community. I give thanks for this city, for this nation, for this planet. I give thanks for the cosmos, for the love that holds it all together. For this and so much more. I know that the continuation of this service is a continuation of this prayer. And so I simply let it go and let it be. And so it is. Becca Palm, will you take us away?
The day is dawning, children exploring, rivers and rainbows, fireworks roaring. But can I see the hungry or a child in pain, a person in prison, the forgotten, or the insane? Open my eyes and calm my fears. Open my ears and let me hear the call. Open my heart so I can embrace it all. There's clapping and cheering, church bells ringing. Can I? There's sounds of nature, a child singing, clapping and cheering, church bells ringing. But can I hear a nervous knock on the door, feel the loss of a loved one, or the restless prayer of the poor? Open my eyes and calm my fears. Open my ears and let me hear your call. Open my heart trust another's hug, to receive tender kindness, be surrounded by love, to know that I am safe, no need to deny the kindness and caring of those nearby. Open my eyes and calm my fears. Open my ears so I can hear you call. Open my heart so I can embrace it all.
Thank you, Becca. That was wonderful. So happy 5th of July. It's our country's 200th birthday. 250th, excuse me. Sesquiquentennial. And yeah, there's a, you wonder why there's no knock-knock jokes about the United States. It's because freedom rings. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so we are going to, today we talk about no bad parts. There are bad jokes, but no bad parts. And this month, we're talking about whole no matter what. This week, we're talking about no bad parts. What would my life look like if I honored and loved all of my parts, even those I don't like? And this applies to us individually as well as communally. There are no bad parts. There was an event that happened in Texas, which I think somehow illustrates this. Let's have the next slide. I don't know how many of you heard about Grace the giraffe was in a Cedar Hollow Ranch, which is 150 miles west of Austin, so deep in the Texas desert. And Grace, there was a steep embankment, a steep stone embankment that they thought would keep Grace in. But Grace was like, I can climb this, and climbed out. And one morning, no Grace. So there's this 16-foot tall giraffe wandering around Texas. And they put up a $5,000 reward for finding Grace the giraffe. So Grace stayed lost for 2 weeks. And what do you think Grace did during those 2 weeks? Well, there are some suppositions. So let's do the next slide. Maybe it was so warm, Grace went tubing in the Rio Grande. Or next slide. Maybe Grace went to see Holland beat Sweden in the World Cup in Houston. Or maybe Grace became a morning DJ. How could you tell it's a giraffe? You can't see the radio. Or next, maybe Grace went to the library. The Texas library where she was has this sign saying, attention, due to significant librarian growth, service times may be extended. Please excuse our compressed clearance issues. So next one, maybe Grace just needed a job replacing people's old tires with new tires. But next, eventually, Grace was found, and as they say, she was safe and happy at the end. Her 2 weeks wandering around West Texas, she obviously found herself entertained enough that she stayed happy and is now happy to be back home. And of course, they put a fence up at the top of that stone embankment, so next time she climbs up, she won't be able to gallop out. But it seems like she had a good time. This reminds me of a couple years ago when there were 4 zebras who were running around North Bend for a week. It's always fun to have, wildlife. But Gracie she's like our bad parts, or our not really bad parts. Like, everybody loved Gracie, but what a pain to get away and not be where you wanted it to be. Gracie is a wonderful giraffe, but maybe in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I think this is what happens with our bad parts. We love them. They're very helpful at some points in our life, and then suddenly they'll erupt at the wrong place at the wrong time, and it'll be like, ah, and maybe we just have to laugh. Ernest Holmes says, "Our word does not restore wholeness, it reveals it." Our word does not restore wholeness, it reveals it. So when we proclaim we are whole, perfect, and complete, we're not manifesting that wholeness, perfection, and completeness. We're opening to it. We're realizing that that's the truth of who we are. How many people, probably everybody here knows the Mark Nepo, or some people? Most. I've been sort of skittering around Mark Nepo, and I have a quote to read from him, but I was interested to read about his history. Mark started off as an English professor at State University of New York at Albany, so the capital of New York State, but really sort of in the middle of nowhere for that kind of New England-y, New York kind of thing. And at age 33, happily teaching English to lower classmen, probably teaching Emerson and Thoreau, because of course you teach these guys to your freshman English class. He got metastatic cancer. At age 33, he had cancer all over his body. It invaded his bones, it invaded his brain. He was doing chemotherapy. They had to do surgery to remove a cancerous rib. Suddenly his life that seemed sort of all set was at risk. And I know this happened to me. My first wife, when she was about 33, got stage 3 metastatic cancer. And it changed our life, because suddenly it wasn't just like, get the kids to school, go to work, make everything happen. It was like, are you going to be alive tomorrow? And my body feels horrible because the chemotherapy makes you feel horrible. And what was interesting that we did, we found that every day had an edge to it. Every day had a life and death. We were at the brink between worlds. And so there was something special about living in that zone. And disappointingly, when she got better, and she lived for 16 more years, life got boring. It's like sometimes that bad part of life is what keeps it alive and active and powerful. So Mark Nepo wrote very powerful poetry based on his experience, and he is 40 years later, he's still going strong. He completed his 10 years at State University of New York at Albany before he went he was already a bestseller on all the New Thought charts and New Age, and so an Aquarian Age. So he sort of have kept us on that kind of, what is the reality? How do you live in a way that maximizes your life? So Mark says, we are born with only one obligation, to be completely who we are, to be completely who we are. Yet how much of our time is spent comparing ourselves to others, dead and alive? Some think this is necessary in the pursuit of excellence. Yet a flower in its excellence does not yearn to be a fish. And a fish in its elegance does not desire to be a tiger. But we humans find ourselves always falling into the dream of another life. And this is, let's do the triangle, thank you. So this comparing ourselves to others is sort of down here in at the top, it's at the top of the victim abuser consciousness, where you are the victor, and all those other people aren't as good as me. But you can see, so you're over here, but there's so much more. You're still sort of compressed compared to how expansive you can be. Every weed and ant and every living creature has its unique anatomy of being, which when given over to is more than enough. Being human, though, we are often troubled and blocked by insecurity. And that makes us feel unworthy. Unworthy is down here. When troubled, we sometimes feel compelled to puff ourselves up, for in our pain it makes sense that if we were larger, we'd be farther from our pain. Then, not surprisingly, others need to be made smaller so that we can be bigger than they are. So history is the humbling story of our misbegotten inflations, and truth is the corrective story of how we embrace each other and forgive ourselves for not having accepted our beautifully particular place in the fabric of all these things. So this is what we want to do. We want to accept our beautifully particular place in the fabric of all there is. Ernest Holmes says, the individual subconsciously believes much about themselves that contradicts their true spiritual nature. And this is, we're always taught we're not good enough, they're better than us. I wish I were like I was, 50 years ago. If only I had. The accumulated experience of the whole human race is lodged in the subconscious of everyone and operates through everyone until a passageway is cleared back through the mind to the spiritual presence. So we clear a passageway to the spiritual presence. And this is our teaching symbol here. We often talk about going into the spiritual consciousness. Oh, there it is there. Spiritual consciousness here, and then manifesting ideas into our three-dimensional world. Well, we can go the other way. We can move from being actually who we are in the three-dimensional world and move into spiritual consciousness. In fact, I have a couple of Tai Chi things I'd like us to do now. You can do them seating if you'd like, or I'll demonstrate them standing. But everybody get up if you're going to, and I'll show you. It's this one. We go push the energy and pull the energy. And what this is about is we are more than our three-dimensional bodies. And with this pushing and pulling, with me it feels a little like taffy. You can feel there's energy. I mean, I don't want to give you your experience. Notice what happens when you bring your arms forward and back. And let's do it a couple more times. And then embrace the tiger and return to the mountaintop. And then there's one I've taught you before, which is the bass drum, where you move your arms like this in front of you. And just if you move them slowly and with 100% attention, notice what kind of energy you feel. Notice what you feel. Is it just your arm moving? Does it feel like your arm is pushing through anything? Are your arms cool, or are they warming up? And now let's just embrace tiger and return back to the mountaintop. So that's just a couple of Tai Chi. That's what I do it for is it gets me out of my head. And by being this particular way of being in my body, lets me connect with all that I am. It lets me be who I am. The road to self-discovery often calls for a clearing away of the underbrush of ignorance, fear, superstition, and the sense of isolation which have made us feel unworthy and lost. Ernest says, in the divine providence of good, salvation is unnecessary, but self-discovery is essential. We do not save that which we have lost. We merely discover that which needs to be found. So, in order to embrace wholeness, we need to first realize we're not restoring wholeness, we're revealing it. We're always whole. It's not possible for us to be less than whole. It is possible for us to believe we're less than whole, to pretend we're less than whole, to honestly look for the wholeness and not want to find it or not be able to find it. Ernest also says, if we start from the premise we're already whole, and then through honoring and listening to parts of ourselves we previously hid or didn't like, we can develop a different relationship to them. So we want to honor and listen to the parts of ourselves we hid or didn't like. And let's go to, it's the next one. We'll be going back to that one in a second. So this is three minds, and this is, we've talked about the anatomy of the mind, but this shows the hot mind is the emotional mind. And our emotional mind uses emotions to make decisions, information on how we are truly feeling, how we are doing like in the moment. Emotions are good at getting us into the present, although we can carry grudges from way in the past. And we've got the rational mind here. So rational minds, we've got facts and logic come first. But we can intellectualize the situation. We can be cut off from our emotions. We can not notice what's going on now. And what we get by embracing both minds, not merely the emotional mind and not merely the reactive mind, is the wise mind. And the wise mind considers emotion and logic, multiple perspectives, balanced and mindful and intuitive. And so this is what we want to practice doing, is having our wise mind there. But we do it not by saying there's something wrong with the emotional mind or there's something wrong with the rational mind, but by embracing both of them. Let's go back to the spiral one. Gideon, thanks. So spiral dynamics, we've talked about before. I'll briefly go through it, but the important thing is until we start in the middle and then we expand out and out and out and out, but it's not until yellow that we start, yellow and turquoise, we start accepting ourselves the way we are. So the very first one is beige, which is when you're a baby, all you want to do is survive. When you're hungry, you cry. When you're uncomfortable, you cry. That's all you're about, is survival. And then you move into, purple, which is sort of the fantasy world, the world of the Easter Bunny, the world of magic. And it's funny, when my oldest son, Angus, gets so many stories told about him. When he was a baby, when he first learned how to talk, people were divided into two categories, baby and mommy. And so I was mommy because I wasn't a baby. So was mommy, so is every other adult. But everyone who wasn't a mommy and was human was a baby. And so he'd go to the store and he'd say, baby, baby. And he'd see these 5-year-old kids and these 10-year-old kids irate. I'm no baby. Who are you calling a baby? And this is to illustrate that everyone's a baby at one point. But when you're beyond baby, when you're not too far beyond baby, it seems like an insult. Oh, little baby guy. Anyway, the purple magical thing was interesting because we were watching Peter Pan on TV. And we got to the part where Peter Pan sprinkled, or Tinkerbell sprinkled the fairy dust on all the kids, and they started flying. And our son looked up at us and said, "Mama, Papa, fly!" Like, at that moment, he knew, and I knew, that we could fly, except we can't. But in that magical moment, we lived in a world where people could fly. All we needed was Tinkerbell. And so that was real. That was like, it's a beautiful moment you can have in having these magical beliefs together. Then you move into the imperial toddler, and our 4-year-old grandson, Xavier, he's often very commanding, "Papa, do this, come here, go there." He knows he's in charge. And then the rules, the blue rules, is something that the kids love moving into, because you have games, you have ways to interact with everybody without chaos, because everybody follows the rules. But in the church, the Christian church was big because it was a rules-based church at a time when most societies were ruled by some guy who decided he was the most important and everybody needed to listen to him. And churches were ruled by priests who made all the decisions and didn't listen to anybody. So the Christian church, in having rules that everybody followed, was powerful. But then the rules start getting constricting, and we moved into science and entrepreneurship and sort of expanding the world, and that was great. But we polluted the world, we exploited labor, we had all those papal encyclicals I talked about recently that help bring us the good part of orange and less of the bad part. But what green does, green is the last tier one. It really embraces humanity, but it condemns affluenza. It condemns, it recognizes the problems with orange, that there's too much pollution, that labor isn't treated fairly, that we've got to watch out for the planet. But it does it by denigrating expertise and really sort of wanting to throw away the baby with the bathwater. And that's why we like to move into yellow and turquoise. I finally made it to where yellow's the individual method. And this is where we see that how we get to where we are is by acknowledging all these parts of ourselves. All of us were babies. All of us need to be able to survive. All of us have some magical tribal beliefs, some rituals. 78%, wow. I was going to say 78% of Americans believe in angels, which for some people they're myths, for some people they're real. I know people who angels are more real than I am in their lives. And I've had moments when angels have been more real than my left foot. So by embracing all of who we are and welcoming all of who we are, we can, and sometimes it's like the giraffe. Sometimes it's in the wrong place at the wrong time. And then we take that part of ourselves and bring it back in. So I want to read the Great Invocation. The Great Invocation was written by Alice Bailey in April 1945. So World War II was nearing its close. And she wrote this invocation that I find I think a lot of people have found it very powerful, because I've seen it posted on people's walls throughout my life. I modified it a little bit because of everyone's an editor. But here's what she said. So Alice Bailey is well known for being one of the leading lights of theosophy that took a lot of the knowledge of the masters of the Far East and incorporated it into a practice and belief system that we can use to empower ourselves. From the point of light within the mind of God, let light stream forth into the minds of all. Let light embrace the earth. From the point of love within the heart of God, let love stream forth into the hearts of all. May love radiate on earth. From the center, where the will of God is known, let purpose guide the wills of all purpose, which the sages know and serve. From the center of the highest one, let the plan of love and light work out, and may it elevate our hearts. Let light and love and power reveal the plan on earth. And so this is what Alice Bailey, it's a powerful invocation which helped shed a lot of the bitterness and move us into rebuilding from the awful period that the world had just suffered through. And for us, let's put our hands on our hearts and breathe into our hearts. And if you can allow yourself to feel appreciation in your heart for a pet, a family member, or maybe some part of yourself which you become aware of, or a 16-foot tall giraffe who romped around Texas for 2 weeks before coming home. Let's open to that appreciation. Notice how it fills our hearts. It expands beyond our hearts and fills our bodies. It expands beyond our bodies and fills the room. And we can feel it. We can feel it filling our presence, connecting with everybody within the sound of my voice. And I know that God is love, and this love connects the universe. It connects and folds and embraces everyone and everything. It is the universal duct tape. And I am part of that. I'm an individualization of that love, connected to the ocean of love, and yet right here in a compressed package. And I know that everyone here is worthy. I know that everyone is whole, perfect, and complete. There are all good parts within everyone, and we all manifest these for the good of ourselves and the world. And I am grateful for the presence. I am grateful for the power. I'm grateful for the teaching. And I release this prayer and let go into the word, which always says yes. It always says yes, surrounds, enfolds, and protects us now and forever. And so it is. So let's once again say, I embrace and honor all of who I am. I embrace and honor all of who I am. I embrace and honor all of who I am. Thank you so much. So prayer cards, I encourage everybody to find a prayer card. If you don't have one, raise your hand and we'll get you one. And at home, you can go to GenesisCSL.org and put in a prayer. The prayer demonstration is where I encourage you to write down something good that exists in your life, something you appreciate, something you love, something you've manifested. Because by writing what's good and active and true in your life, this powers your prayers. It makes them that much more powerful. And then you can put your prayer request on the other side. It can be for yourself. It can be for anyone else. It can be for the world. These prayers get collected by our practitioners who pray on them all week, and so they amplify the power of your prayer to the universe. another solo by the very talented Becca.
I love myself the way I am. There's nothing I need to change. I'll always be the perfect me. There's nothing to rearrange. I'm beautiful and I'm capable of being the best me I am. I love myself just the way I am. And I am all there is. I am all there is. And if it doesn't look the way I want it to look, I look again. 'Cause I am. I trust all there is. I trust all there is. If it doesn't go the way I want it to go, I trust again. 'Cause I am. I love the world the way it is, 'cause I can clearly see that all the things I judge are done by people just like me. So tell the world of peace on earth that only love can bring, and I'll help it grow by loving everything. And I love all there is. I love all there is. And if it doesn't feel the way I want it to feel, I love again. 'Cause I am. I am. Oh, I am.
I love the way you do that. So good. All right. So along with our prayer card, a little yellow prayer card is our envelope. And this part of our service is an invitation to participate in circulation, to connect with abundance and generosity. So please take a moment to write down your financial gift for Genesis this Sunday. We want you to know that your gift is tax deductible. If giving cash, please include your name on the envelope so we can add that amount to your end of year statement. If you're online, please visit our website at GenesisCSL.org and use the donate button. You can use the QR code on the screen here. Your contribution makes all of this possible. And we want you to know that you are loved, you are appreciated, and you matter. So if you feel called to, let's gather our offering and our prayers and put them by our heart as we say our offering blessing together. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, and I am thankful. Christy's going to come around and collect your offering and your prayer cards, and as we pass the basket to the ends of the rows, she'll help us facilitate that. And we're going to sing, yep, I give because I believe.
Give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love. I give because I believe in love, and love is given
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And so we'll just bless this offering, recognizing that that law of circulation has been invoked and enacted, and that as we give down, as we give, we receive, pressed down, multiplied, and overflowing into our individual lives, into the lives of this community, and into the lives of all beings everywhere. And so I give thanks and bless it and know it is so, and so it is. So thank you for joining us today. Please join us after the service for food and fellowship. I'll be in the alcove back here for those who would like to pray with a spiritual practitioner. We're wishing everyone a week filled with joy, love, and true connection. So please stand together with us and sing our closing song, Together We Rise.
Love, I'm on love in my heart. Peace, I'm knowing peace in my mind. Joy, I'm feeling joy in my life. We are one and together we rise. We rise, together we rise. Standing in beloved community. Together we rise, together we rise. Through love, peace, and joy, together we rise.